outcome of the playoffs and then just how these past 6 games prepared you for what you're about to face?
Yeah, I'm not trying to make it bigger than what it is. Obviously, there's more on the line and everything, but I think, having 6 games under my belt in terms of just playing in an NFL game and trying to win for 4 quarters, it's helped me get to this point. And all the guys in the locker room got my back. We've all grown together, so we're ready for what's ahead.
You said the other day that the weight of the world's not on your shoulders because of all the playmakers that you have around you. Is that something that's been kind of instilled in you since you took over this starting role?
Yeah, I feel like that's sort of been my mindset. Right when Jimmy went down, all I had to do was go in and do what Coach asked me and get Debo, BA, George, Christian, those guys the ball, and it hasn't changed for all the games that I've played in so far. That's still going to be the mindset going into playoffs.
You're going to face a team twice for the first time in your career in the NFL. How does that change your preparation, if at all?
Yeah, we played them what seems like yesterday, and so for myself, it's come back in. What have they done different in the last couple games? What did we do to attack them the first time, and go from there. But again, not try to overthink things or do anything crazy. Just stick to what Coach has dialed up. I'm just going to try to play my game and go from there. Simple.
You've described your role as a point guard in this offense, spreading the ball around to that many weapons. Did you ever play basketball competitively?
No, I didn't. It was just football and baseball. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Answer your question, yeah. Sorry.
The locker room was very lively today. Have you sensed that energy from everybody since this week started?
Yeah. Fred said it really well at practice yesterday. He's like, man, you should feel this, this feeling in your gut. Man, we're in playoffs. It matters, obviously, every single day, every meeting, every minute matters. So there's a good vibe right now going on. Obviously at practice in the locker room. So it feels good. It's good energy. We just got to translate it onto the field and be detailed with everything because everything matters. So all the guys are really juiced up.
Seahawks defense playing pretty well the last few weeks.
Yeah, that's another thing. Feel really good, going into this game, especially since we had a quick turnaround last time. Played on Sunday, and then we had to be ready to roll for Thursday night, and obviously I had the whole rib thing going on, so I feel a lot better. I'm excited about that, but yeah, I was definitely hurting for that game.
Like, how is McCaffrey, just in his role as a decoy, made your job easier? Think of any number of big plays where you take a pitch to him, maybe you just look at him, and the defense all sways over to that side of the field. I guess just how does his presence open things up?
Yeah, he's a guy that can obviously run the ball, get the ball out of the backfield with pitches and things, and then obviously split them out and run a route. So he does all these things that the defense has to scheme up and try to stop. And so when you put all that attention on one guy, obviously it opens up guys like George and Debo and BA. So honestly, I love it as a quarterback. To have a guy that is so well rounded like Christian, and then even guys like Debo. Debo can do the same thing, right? So definitely lucky and thankful to have them on my team, and I just got to do my job and give them the ball.
Is an off-schedule rapport something that you had with George Kittle on day one, or is that something that you've kind of sensed grow with reps with him?
I feel like it's taken some time. When I first got in, I sort of had to tell the guys in the Miami game, like, hey, if it breaks down, I could make something happen off schedule. So that has happened over time. We've talked about it at practice and in meetings, what to do if the play's not there in rhythm or on time. So that's something that obviously George does a great job with. If it's not there, he knows he has a great sense to find space, and so I like that a lot.
Are there some receivers that, like George, obviously a big tall guy, but is he good at from your vision as a quarterback at making himself be able to be seen downfield?
Yeah, I think he does a great job of creating separation for one, and then his frame that he has obviously as a tight end. He just is a great mismatch, man, and he's explosive, and how he runs routes and stuff. He does a great job of just, like I said, creating space, and I know where he's going to be. So, like I said, I'm thankful to have George. He's a freak of nature, and just got to continue to have that connection moving forward for this playoff run.
Brock, understanding that this game, you're not trying to make it too big, but as far as lifelong goals, you get drafted, you make the team, you you're here in this moment. What does this feel like a couple days away from your first playoff start, as far as like a lifelong dream as you try to move forward and get the championship?
Yeah, I feel like I'll do a lot of reflecting, towards, after the season. Right now, I'm looking at it like, man, we got the Seahawks. Yes, it's playoffs, but for myself, I got to do my job. I'm not trying to, think about this storybook ending with anything like that. It's, man, I got a great defense I got to play on Sunday. I got to do my job in terms of getting the guys the ball, and all that will fall in place. But definitely thankful for everything that has happened. But we still have a ways to go. So.
How do you take being in the conversation for Rookie of the Year for 6 games?
Yeah, same thing. I don't try to get wrapped up there in any of that kind of stuff. For me, it's I gotta win. For as good as the team that we have, I got to just come in, do my job, and let everything else fall into place. Yeah, almost like how I answer that other question. It's sort of the same thing. I don't want to get wrapped up in all that kind of stuff. It'll happen if it happens. Whoever wins it, great. But I'm just trying to be where I'm at, be where my feet are at.
Did you have the same kind of rapport with your tight end at Iowa State? The same kind of way?
You talking about the off-schedule plays? or-
Yeah. I'm not saying that he's the same as George. I'm just saying the relationship you have.
Yeah. Charlie Kohler and I for sure. We made a lot of plays together. He did a great job of creating separation, and I always knew, man, I got a big tight end matched up against a linebacker or safety, and I can give him a shot. So, Charlie did a great job with the off-schedule plays too, the scrambling. He always has eyes downfield. He saw the game like a quarterback sees it. So I think George does the same thing. So definitely similar. In a way.
And how many different ways have people tried to attack you so far? Like Miami came out and they just blitzed you. Figure they tested it for quarterback. Like Arizona came physically at you up the middle and tried to force you a couple of times. How much have you seen so far, and how much do you think is going to still come out?
Yeah, I feel like I'm sort of I see something new almost every week. So obviously there's 6 games of me of film out there on me. So there's still things that I'm sure coordinators are gonna try to dial up and everything and try to get me to do something different. But for myself, I just try to stay grounded in what the progression is, what the read is, those kinds of things. But I don't know what coordinators are thinking or how they're gonna stop me or what. So. But I feel like I do see, different things every single week, so we'll see.
You seem really comfortable.
I'm not really sure. I've asked myself that. I've watched film. I'm like, okay, why? Have I done that? For myself, it's like, man, I feel pressure and I just try to get out however I can if the play's not there. So I feel like the last couple of games it's just been to the left by chance, but it's not something that I go into the play like, man, this isn't there. I'm gonna escape here or there. It's just what's happened so far in the games. So that's what I know about it.